Oh, did we lose some of that?
Yeah, just the pack just kind of
right.
turned off when you moved and asked that last question.
Oh, it did? Okay. So meantime, as this was going on, as you were working with the record and living with it and reworking it with Mike, this whole thing was sort of being built up around you in the outside world, this perception of what was going on with you. And, you know, I guess the legend that got created was that, the rebel, the iconoclast Fiona was standing her ground, and the man was shutting her down and saying, we're not going to release this record, and we are demanding changes. I mean...
what happened was this. I got it all figured out. We had a little budget to do the songs over. And this is, by the way, like, we didn't even know if that was going to be used or whatever. I wanted to try. I wasn't satisfied yet that I had tried everything. And so we had it planned, and he had these skeleton tracks that we were like I was getting inspired by, and we were about to start working. And this is something that I certainly will never know the entire truth to, and I've been told that it was probably a miscommunication somehow, but I was told that in order to redo the songs, like this is all of a sudden, that in order to redo the songs, that I would have to do one at a time and then hand them in order to get the money to do the next one.
Wow.
And it was like a month where the argument was, is it going to be one at a time? No. Can it be two at a time? Can it be three at a time? No, it can be one. No, it can be three. And all of a sudden I was just like, wait a second. This is a ridiculous argument, and it's totally unacceptable to me, because this implies that if I go and I redo something and I hand it in, then let's just assume that I'm happy with it, because I'm not going to hand it in if I'm not.
Sure.
So I'm happy with it. I hand it in. And now they either love it and they give me money for the next one, or they don't love it, and one of two things happens. They either say, we don't love it, that's it, and now they own a recording of something that I do love. And if I ever,
and we've got a Wilco situation,
I don't really know the whole situation of that, but I've been, some people have mentioned that. So that can either happen, or they can say, we don't love it, but we would love it if you do this and this and this. And that's also unacceptable, because I've been very lucky, I guess, but not in any time over the last two records have I ever had anybody try to look over my shoulder and tell me what to do with the song, And I thought, well, okay, I didn't know what to do for the longest time, because this is my shot to try to do this. But ultimately, I thought, I have no choice. I can't do it this way. It's got to be all or nothing. And it was such a drag having to have this argument that I just made a really fast decision, and I called up Steve, my manager, and I said, okay, just tell him I'm not going to record anymore. I'm not going to do it. I'm done. And I said, don't call me back and ask me if I'm sure, because I can't, because I'm such a compulsive doubter that I don't want to be, just do it now, hang up, I'm unplugging my phone, I don't want to hear anything else.
Right.
And that's what happened. So basically, I quit. And I felt, and I know that like a lot of people thought that Sony shelved the album. In my head, I thought that might be what was going to happen, and I was protecting my, my ideal of how to do this stuff. I really felt like if I were to say, okay, I'll do a couple songs at a time and you tell me what you think, I really felt like, screw the whole career part of it. Personally, it just didn't jibe with my principles. And I thought, as a human being growing and getting wiser, if I give in like that right now, I'm going to be it's just the death of me on so many levels.
Understandably, yeah. That's recording by numbers. It's like turning in, term papers or something, and getting them marked.
And I'm not like trying to, I'm not doing damage control right now by saying I'm not mad at Sony, but like honestly, I'm not. I know that they're in the business for a completely different reason than I am, and they'd already spent a bunch of money on the record. And understandably, they wanted to protect their investment. But it's just that we came to a complete impasse because they didn't want to risk it. But I was like, risk it on me. Come on. I mean,
right. Right, exactly.
I'm going to do something good,